Welcome once again, everybody. This is Pop Culture Network Radio. It is actually Saturday. It is Saturday, December 7th, 2013. I'm a day late. I know. Usually you get the show on Fridays, but, oh boy, the Christmas season. The holiday season. I don't know if I can say Christmas. Am I allowed to say Christmas anymore? You take Christ out of Christmas, it's just a big mess. And actually, a lot of times that's true. But anyway, we are here today to talk about tablets. We're going to talk about Black Friday, Cyber Monday deals. We're going to talk about a fight I had with a PR guy. Not really a fight. He's just pissed at me and whatever. So anyway, we've got some stuff to talk about today. Thank you for joining us today. I'm glad you could be here. I have a cup of coffee here with me I'll be taking sips from. I have not been feeling well the last couple days. My whole family, I think, has got a bit of a stomach flu that we're just passing around from one person to another, which is great. I mean, there's no better feeling than being so cold you don't want to get out of bed, and then having that feeling like you just might puke. You're afraid to fall asleep because you don't want to wear it. But anyway, it is 9 degrees outside. And that's Fahrenheit. For all you people that live in Europe and you use the metric scale, 9 degrees Fahrenheit is cold. I don't know the conversion. I can't do metric conversion. I don't know metric. Screw you guys. I don't care if it makes sense to you. I don't know it. So anyway, 9 degrees outside, and I am freezing. I've got a heater running. We've got our central heat on. But, you know, we live in a big old house with these high ceilings, so of course all the heat just goes upstairs. I should set up a recording studio somewhere upstairs in the bedroom, set up a desk or something, do it up there, because it is like 20 degrees warmer upstairs than it is down here. But that's what you get living in an old house with these big high ceilings. But anyway, regardless, let's start today by talking about some of the Black Friday, Cyber Monday deals. I talked last week about how Black Friday didn't seem like that big of a deal for me. I didn't really go anywhere, didn't do a whole lot. But as the weekend went on, I did go out to a few shops, found some more deals. I had a couple people here on jointheforums.com, the official forums of the Pop Culture Network. They went on and posted about some of the deals that they found and some of the things that they got. So let's take a second here. Gundam Warrior, who started the thread, he said he did all of his deals online. He didn't set a foot into a single store. And he ordered, let's see here, from Big Bad Toy Store. He ordered the Big Bad Toy Store exclusive Transformers Dark Energon Deluxe Set of 4 with bonus DVD. It was $25.99. And there's 4 figures here. And I can tell one of them is a Wheeljack. And one of them is a Bumblebee. And is that that's not Starscream. I don't know who that is. There are 2 other figures on here. I'm not sure who they are, just because I'm not that big into the Prime series. But I can tell that Wheeljack kicks ass. It looks like Wheeljack, except he's like a translucent blue with red highlights. And then this other dude who's in the picture, he's like translucent green and purple. I don't know who those 2 are, but I want those 2 figures. I don't want the other 2. I don't want another Bumblebee. As long as I live, unless it's a G1 Bumblebee, I am Bumblebeed out. I don't need another Bumblebee as long as I live. But those 2 figures are pretty freaking sweet. Don't know if I'll ever find a deal where I can get those, though. That's the problem. Let's see. The other thing he got was the Transformers Dark Energon Voyager set of 2 with bonus DVD. This is Optimus Prime and the spaceship-looking Megatron. Once again with translucent colors. I dig the colors of Optimus Prime. The translucent red with the orange highlights. It looks nice as far as the colors go, but it's the long-nosed cab, so I'll never buy him. But that is a neat-looking dude. He also went to Fox Connect. Fox Connect was running sales, and he picked up X-Files seasons 1 through 9 at $5.99 each. So he paid $53.91 for all 9 seasons of the X-Files. I'm assuming that's on DVD, not Blu-ray. And I got to say, just to go off on a quick tangent here, John Doggett, love that character. When they brought him in, of course, it was like, oh, this is, jumping the shark. They're getting rid of... But honestly, I thought X-Files kind of jumped the shark after the movie. The first movie was really good, and then they came back, and the season after it just kind of floundered. And I don't know, what was that, season 5, maybe? Season 6? I don't remember. But when they brought in Daggett. Maybe it was Daggett. I don't know. Anyway, when they brought in Robert Patrick, I didn't watch it at the time, but several years later, I went back and gave it a chance, and I really liked what he did with that character, that role. That was awesome. So anyway, series ended. Yeah, whatever. Season 9, whatever. Let's see. He went to Amazon. He got some Blu-rays for $7.99 each. He picked up Pacific Rim, The Conjuring, and Star Trek Into Darkness. You got Star Trek Into Darkness for $7.99? Son of a... How come I never get those types of deals? Man... that is a really good deal. Really good deal. I don't even know. Man, I paid more than that when I got it, and that wasn't that long ago. Black Friday deals. They get you every time. Every time. I don't know, does anybody ever have buyer's remorse after seeing the Black Friday deals? I'm sure a lot of people do. Let's see. We have Falcon Hood. He went to Walmart for Black Friday DVD deals. He got the 220 movie packs. One is called Tales of Adventure, and it shows a family on a picnic, kid riding a horse. The horse is wearing sunglasses. There's a lion, some more little kids. I don't know what that is. There's another one that says 20 movies, they came from space. And you see like a guy being pulled into a spaceship with this evil-looking alien staring down at him. Dude in space, a dude in a library. These look... I'm sure these are generic, straight-to VHS movies that came out in, the 80s and 90s, but I'm sure there's some good stuff on there. Let's see, he grabbed the Doom Metal Case set, the Steelbook edition on Blu-ray of that, The Rock movie set in the video game universe, and Wrath of the Titans on Blu-ray. Got the Smurfs and some sort of Peter Pan movie on DVD. I have no idea what Peter Pan movie this is. Looks like it's not that old. I don't know, maybe they just put new artwork on it, but... let's see, we got Sherlock Holmes on DVD. We've got Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote on DVD. We've got Batman Begins and Batman The Dark Knight Returns Part 2. I hope you have Part 1, because you're kind of missing out there. We got R.L. Stine's The Haunting Hour from the creator of Goosebumps. Was that the show on Fox? Like after school in 94? I don't remember. And then he's got Die Hard 2, Die Harder, with the absolute worst airbrushed photo of Bruce Willis on the cover. That looks like one of those... I don't know if you've ever seen the websites that have the Turkish movie posters or the African movie posters where they would just... some guy would sit and watch the movie on VHS or watch a minute or two of it and then paint a poster that they would hang outside the tent, and people would pay money to come watch the movies. There's some of the best artwork, as I'm sure you can imagine. But anyway, boy, that Die Hard 2 artwork is just terrible. Some stuff that I managed to pick up. Metroplex was on sale at Toys R Us, $79.99 in-store only. Of course, as soon as it went on sale, the one at my store sold out. Probably BG got to it first. But luckily, the man, the myth, the legend, Nick Ochoa, he managed to find one out in New Jersey. He picked it up for me and is shipping it to me. Maybe I'll get it today. I don't know. I'm really looking forward to that guy. I hope to get that Metroplex and get my my Maddie Voltron and have the two of them slug it out. Maybe I can do some sort of stop motion with that. That might be fun. I did go to MaddieCollector.com. I ordered the Hurricane Hordak because it was like, I don't know, $12 or whatever. It was the price point I was willing to pay for it to get Disco Hordak. And then I ordered a pack of the Masters of the Universe minis. Those little WWE Rumbler looking dudes. Now, some of you listening to this, you're going to remember I did get the minis already this summer. And I had a pack of minis, so you're probably going, oh, he got a second pack. Is that maybe to open one and to put one on display? No, actually, the pack that I already had John Proft, a.k.a. Orko, on our boards, he actually is the one that reposts all of our news stories on the message board. So every time we put a story up on the site, I send him the link on Facebook, and then he will take the link and he will post it on the message board. So all you guys who just come to the message boards and you never go to the main site, tisk. All of you guys, you can see what's actually going on the website, and hopefully, start a discussion or whatever. So anyway, he is a Masters of the Universe freak. And I mean freak in the best possible terms, like all of you guys. He's a massive fanboy for it, loves everything about it, but he wasn't able to get his hands on those minis. So I actually sent him the pack that I got this summer, and I just thought, he really wants them. I've got my hands on them. I'll send them to him, and, I don't need them that badly. But they showed up for, $15 or something like that on the website, and I was like, okay, now I can buy myself a set. So got myself a set on Black Friday. I also went to Walmart at some point over the weekend, and I'm not sure if this was a Black Friday or Cyber Monday deal, or if this was just like what they're doing for the holiday season, but they had these Transformers bonus packs. They were deluxe class figures, so they're not the huge ones, but they're still, the bigger size figures. They are from the Transformers Prime Beast Hunters line, and it was a 2-pack for, I believe it was $9.99. It may have been $7.99. Maybe that was the Black Friday deal. It was $7.99. I don't remember. But anyway, I got Bulkhead and Prowl. These are both the Beast Hunters ones. So, I mean, Prowl looks more or less the same. He doesn't look all that weird. Bulkhead, though, he's the... what is he, the Dragon Grinder, because they had to make him different for Beast Hunters. So he's got the the 2 fangs on the front of the truck mode, and he's got that giant spinning disc thing that sits on top. But those 2 figures I think are really I like the way that they look. I like my Transformers to be bulky. I don't like the new Soundwave is like tall and skinny when they make it. That just doesn't look right. I like the big, bulky Transformers. This is part of the reason why I don't like a lot of the Bayformer stuff. Just, I don't know. Looks like the gray aliens. I went to ToonBot. I don't know if you guys know who ToonBot is, but ToonBot, he takes the bot shots, those smash and flip Transformers, the ones that are... it's just like a simple transformation. You pop the bumper, and the thing pops up and turns into a robot. He makes customs, and he will sculpt original parts, new heads, some body pieces. He'll make figures that are otherwise missing from the line, make his own versions. He had a Bulkhead on there. $15.99 for a custom one. It's he took another figure that already existed, but sculpted a brand new head and put it on there. So I ordered one of those. I've ordered some stuff from him before, and they all look fantastic. So $15.99 for that, I was more than happy to pay. I went to Fox Connect. Of course, the same place that was a Gundam Warrior went and got his stuff. I ended up going there also on Black Friday, and I ended up getting Atlas Shrugged Part 1 and 2. They were $5 each on Blu-ray, and those are really good, so I went ahead and grabbed those. And then they had House at the End of the Street. Now, I have not seen House at the End of the Street. It's got the actress from Hunger Games in it. I don't know if she's any good in this. I don't know if the movie itself is any good. You really can't, on a lot of these horror movies, you really can't go online and look at Rotten Tomatoes and really understand if it's good or not, because what makes a lot of these horror movies good is absolutely not what, mainstream viewers look for in a good horror movie. So I was just like, you know what? For the price, for getting the Blu-ray, I just went ahead and ordered it. And so I'll have a new horror movie here that I'll be able to watch in a couple weeks. And I'm saying probably watch in a couple weeks, not because I have to wait till after Christmas to watch a horror movie, but because it still says it's processing. I placed this order on November 27th, along with everybody else apparently in the world, and it is still processing. It has not shipped. Which, I mean, boy, is that annoying. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like, what can you do? I think the last thing here that I ordered, I went to the Voltron store. The Voltron was having the Voltron himself. The Voltron store was having a sale. They had the Monster Apocalypse, Mega Voltron, and Ultra Lotron figures, brand new. These are leftovers from, I believe, I don't remember if it was Toy Fair or it was San Diego Comic-Con, but when the Monster Apocalypse Voltron game came out, they had them available at the show, and I was not able to get them at the show. They had them available for their Black Friday, Cyber Monday, whatever sale, $14.99 to get those two figures. Now, I own the Monster Apocalypse Voltron game. I have never played it. I opened it once. I looked at all the little pieces. I was like, oh, this is really cool. I'll have to play it someday. I've never gotten around to playing it. Maybe that's something we'll do on the show here sometime in the next year or so. Or the next 2 years. I don't know. I don't know if people want to watch a show with just dudes playing board games, but that's something we could try, I guess, if anyone thinks they might be interested. I also have the regular Monster Apocalypse down there. I've never opened and played. I've got the Zombies board game. I think I've played once, but they put it on computer now, so I've been playing the computer version of it and not worrying about the board game. But anyway, so some feedback from you guys and some of the stuff that I got. The funny thing is, a lot of deals are still going. There are so many of these special sales that they've just decided, you know what, Black Friday sale extended. Now through Christmas, it's like it's like this week-long extravaganza where it starts really like on Wednesday before Thanksgiving. A lot of people had sales, and they're just like extended or for 2 weeks, or it's no longer this like one day you got to rush out and get everything, which I don't know if that's good or bad. I don't know if, are you guys, do you ever sit there and just, you want it done? You know what I mean? Do you ever sit there and just think, this is just pissing me off with all these sales and with all this stuff? Or are you guys like, yeah, deals. Deals. As long as it's toy deals or comic deals or something along those lines, are you happy to see this going on, or you just get so pissed off every time this stuff keeps going? I'm just kind of curious about how some of you guys feel about that. All right, I'm going to have to take a quick break and run some hot water over my feet and try to get them warmed up. For you guys, it'll be instantaneous. I don't know why I'm telling you this, but anyway, I'll be right back. All righty, ladies and gentlemen. We are back. Like I said, instantaneous for you. You just got some weird kind of reintroduction in the middle of a stream of audio. So anyway, we are going to talk a little bit about tablets. I have owned way too many tablets over the last couple years. It's one of those things that I just get, every so often I just get stuck on some, I don't know why, but I just have to go out and buy a new tablet and just try it out. We work in a store that, we fix electronics every so often, and every once in a while someone will come in with a tablet that they tried to root and they, messed it up. Screen is broken that they want us to try to fix or whatever. It doesn't happen very often, but it happens sometimes, so I get to play with them a lot of times. And so I've used quite a number of them. And right now, as crazy as this sounds, I have 3 tablets that I use day to day. Depending on what task I'm doing or where I'm going or how long I'm going to be gone, I have 3 different tablets that I choose between, which really sounds stupid. I understand that. But that's just kind of how it is with me and my fetish for technology. And I've owned so many different ones. The first tablet I ever had was one of those that I bought at like CVS. And it was a Sylvania tablet. It had a resistive touchscreen, which meant you had to use this plastic stylus in order to interact with the screen. It ran Android like 2.1. It was really terrible. I mean, looking back on it, I was so excited when I got it. I mean, the first thing I did was put Comixology on it and was reading digital comics, and I just loved the experience. I've been familiar with digital comics since, like, 2004. I used to use some of the old sites like iMelt and thelongbox.net and DriveThru, just a bunch of those different type places. And so the idea of taking a laptop with me and reading digital comics, reading them on my desktop, was something that I was, already doing and familiar with. But I got the tablet. It was shortly after DC went day and date with their, new comics, where new comics came out on Wednesday. They were doing the entire line. And so I got that tablet. And just started reading my regular comics on it. But, of course, resistive screen sucked, and it was slow. It didn't have the Play Store, so I had to root it and, sideload all those apps on it. And so, basically, that's where it started. And then from there, I've had a couple different 10-inch tablets. I've had several 7-inch tablets. Had a couple 8-inch tablets. And there are a couple things that I'll say right off the bat here. This is the, too long, don't read. If you want just the quick breakdown, if you are not tech savvy and you just want to get something that's small, you can put it in, like it fits in your maybe your pants pocket if you've got like, khakis with big pockets, or something you can just quickly throw into your purse, or your man bag. You just want something that's like a 7-inch screen that you can do all that kind of neat stuff on and play stuff. And it's a decent price. You can actually go to Walmart and get one called the Hisense Zero, S-E-R-O, Pro. And make sure you get the Pro and not the LT. The Pro, for a 7-inch tablet, that's going to be your best value walking out the gate, getting an Android tablet. It's got the Play Store. It's got a good enough processor that you can play, all the games on it. You're almost never going to find anything that isn't compatible with it. It's got a camera with a flash. It is basically everything you want in a tablet, and they're cheap. They're like $129 or something like that. I mean, just really cheap. You can find them sometimes with these deals going on now, the Black Friday deals, the online deals. You go to onesale.com or Woot or what's the other one? Deal News is a good site for finding a bunch of that stuff. A lot of times you can find them for like $89, refurbished one. And for the price you pay, for what you get, I mean, for just something that is, you open the box and it's ready to go. You don't know anything about technology. You're not looking to mess around with rooting or any of that type stuff. Then that is, I would say, for 99% of people, that's the way to go, is to just get one of those. And again, make sure you get the Pro and not the LT. The LT has a weaker processor, worse display, half the RAM, not as much storage. It is not a deal. Do not get the LT, unless you get it for like, I don't know, $10. But for getting the Pro, for that price, it cannot be beat. Now, having said that, if you do like rooting, if you do like flashing the ROMs, if you do like, all that type of stuff that voids the warranty and can possibly brick and ruin your tablet, and you don't mind doing any of that, my 7-inch tablet of choice at this very moment is actually the Nook HD. This is, I know, it's last year's technology. It's old. A lot of people will tell you, like, oh my gosh, why would you buy an old one like that? But if you are willing to root it and just put the CyanogenMod on there and just run basically the straight, Android, you lose the camera. There's no camera on here. but it's an HD display. So if you use something like Comixology, it will recognize that it is HD and give you the full HD version of the digital comics. It has a snappy processor. I was surprised at actually how fast it was. I only bought one of these because, they have them on sale all the time. They're so cheap now, they're kind of giving them away. And you can get the 8-inch one, and if you want an 8-inch tablet, go ahead and grab that one, the HD Plus. But I went with the HD just because I was looking for something, to replace my smaller tablet. And I love it. If you're willing to get in there, it does have an SD card, a mini SD card slot, or micro SD card slot, I guess, whatever. You've got the microphone, you've got the headphone port, you've got the volume buttons. The one thing I don't like is that it uses its own proprietary charger instead of the micro USB charger that most of them use. But I love it just because I got that HD display on there, and it's the screen is vivid, it's bright, the processor's snappy. I really have no problems with this device, but you have to be willing to root it and flash the ROM. And I know for a lot of people, you don't want to do that. The Hisense Zero Pro, I actually used that for a long time, but and it was my go-to 7-inch tablet, but I ended up buying another one on one of these ridiculous sales, and I gave them to my in-laws for Christmas. They were using an old Kobe Kairos tablet that was one of my old ones, and my old Kindle Fire, which I had flashed and rooted, and they were using both of those. But the Kindle Fire, the power port is loose. It's one of the flaws of the Kindle Fire. The is it a mini USB? I don't know, mini USB charger, I think. That port becomes loose, and it starts to come off the motherboard, and you have to get it resoldered, and that's the problem they were having. And the old Kobe tablet is just trash. Don't buy a Kobe tablet. 2-3 years ago, they were a pretty good deal. This year, they are not. So make sure you don't ever buy one of those. But I gave them the Hisense tablets, and they love them. I mean, it's far and beyond anything that my in-laws would need. They love playing the games on it. That's primarily what they use it for, is just game. They play Candy Crush and Jewel of the Amazon or Jewel Saga or whatever, Pet Rescue Saga. I don't know, all those type of games. They love playing all that kind of stuff. But for me, I just love the HD display. The Nook. The Nook is very thin. It's very easy to put in my cargo pants pocket. And so that is just the one, generally speaking, if I'm just going out and about, that's the one I take with me. And it's, easy, ready to go, good battery, so you have that. Now, I do have another Android tablet, which is a 10-inch tablet. It is not an HD display. The display is actually not as powerful as what's on my 7-inch Nook. It's a little bit of an older tablet, but they do have some newer models out. It's the Asus MemoPad Smart 10. It was cheap. That was one of the main reasons I bought it. It was under $300 for a 10-inch tablet at the time. Tegra 3 processor. It was okay. It's not the best thing on the market, but a 10-inch tablet for under $300 is a pretty good deal. And I wanted a big one for sitting at home and reading comics and Facebook, Google Plus, all that kind of stuff. It's really, I found that it's too big for me to just carry around. If I'm going, like my parents' house for Thanksgiving, or my in-laws' house, or, one of those type of things where I'm going to be gone for a while, it's just way too big, and it's like carrying around a laptop. You have to have, your own case for it. It's just too big. Now, I will say, when I went on vacation earlier this year, I took it and my Bluetooth keyboard instead of taking my laptop. And I was fine using it, as a laptop replacement just for checking email, surfing the internet. We were at a cabin in the woods, and we were wondering, was there some place, some small town we could go into to go, have dinner, that kind of stuff. We did that. So, we had fun. We enjoyed, using it as a laptop replacement on vacation where we weren't trying to do any heavy lifting, so to speak. We weren't doing video editing. We weren't processing a bunch of photos, not doing anything like that on the laptop. It was just your basic, functions, and it was perfect for that. My wife actually uses it now. She takes it, she does craft shows. She makes her own hair bows and whatever and stuff for girl stuff. So, and pass on that. But anyway, she takes it and she uses the PayPal credit card reader with it. And it's because it's a nice big screen. She swipes the credit card using the little reader, and then it pops up with, the page for people to sign. It shows how much they've paid, all that kind of stuff. And it's really a point of sale tool for her that seems to, it impresses people to have this big tablet for them to look at and sign and whatever. So she uses that for that, and I use it basically sitting around the house and reading. I like reading comics on it just because the comic page on the 10-inch screen is almost reading at the same point as the print comic, and so I appreciate that on it. But one of the main problems that I had between these two tablets, I had a 7-inch tablet, 10-inch tablet, the 10-inch tablet too big to carry, so I had the small 7-inch tablet, but I really wanted something that I could take when I travel, that I could do stuff like video editing on. Something that I could, for instance, record this podcast. I wanted to be able to use my microphone to record this podcast and not have to worry about whether or not the chintzy little microphone that's on one of those small tablets would be able to record. I wanted to be able to edit video. When we go to C2E2 and Wizard World and we go back to the hotel room, I don't want to drag around my laptop to do everything. And I know how bad that sounds. It's like, oh my gosh, I have this 4-pound laptop that I have to carry around with this 15-inch screen. It's so cumbersome. But we're in a post-laptop world. We're really replacing laptops with tablets, and I wanted a new toy, damn it. So I bought one, and I ended up grabbing the Acer Iconia W3. It is a Windows 8 tablet. Now, I know a lot of you, just right there, I've scared you by saying, oh my gosh, Windows 8. Why would he get a Windows 8 tablet? Well, I'll tell you, there are a couple reasons. One of the main reasons why I ended up getting the Acer W3 was because it was cheap. Again, cheap. It was under $300. They have a new version out now. This is the W3. There's W4 out that's got a better screen, faster processor, and it's about $300. I think it's a little over $300 actually. It might be $330, $350. Dell has their Venue. That's an 8-inch tablet running Windows 8, and it's $299, I believe. And an 8-inch tablet running Windows 8 or 8.1 nowadays is actually a very good tablet. This I take with me a lot. I kind of switch back and forth between the Android, the Nook HD, and this one, just pretty much as a daily use tablet. I switch back and forth on which one is charged up. A lot of times is what it comes to. But the key with a Windows 8.1 tablet like this is that it is running full Windows. If you buy something like a Microsoft Surface RT, or anything that comes with Windows RT on it, you are not getting the full Windows experience. You are getting just the ARM processor version of Windows, which means it's not backwards compatible with all your Windows programs. With this, I have an 8-inch tablet that I can carry with me, but I can run the full version of Windows. I have the Metro interface, so I can tap on the little square tiles. I can go to the Windows Store and I can download apps. So I've got, the Facebook app, and I've got, I've got a YouTube app on it. So I can do all of that kind of stuff. But the key thing is, it's also running full Windows 8. So I can go to the desktop and I can run anything really that I run on my regular computer. The touchscreen, it's an 8-inch touchscreen, which is a little tough sometimes. But quite honestly, 9 times out of 10, I really don't have a problem using the touchscreen. Only occasionally will I run into an issue where something is very tiny and it's hard to tap. But 9 times out of 10, even on the desktop mode on the 8-inch screen, I really have no problem tapping. I've got Corel Video Studio X6 on here that I can edit video with. I've got Paint Shop Pro Photo on here that I can edit photos with. I'm running Steam. Most of my games could run on here if I wanted to. Even though the graphics processor is not the best, it can still run a lot of that stuff. Because I can go to the desktop and put on Chrome, I've got my Gmail. If you use Gmail, use the offline mode, and it looks basically like the Android version of the app. You can also use the Mail app that comes with the Metro version, the touch-centered version of the Windows 8.1 interface, and you can use the Mail app there to set up with your Gmail, and that works just fine. But one of the great things about Windows 8.1 is they really fixed the multitasking aspect. The big thing about Windows, besides the fact that I can run legacy apps on here, I can put anything that runs on Windows XP, on Vista, on Windows 7. I can load it here onto the desktop, and I can plug this, if I really wanted to, I can plug this to a TV through the HDMI port. It's got a VGA port. I can hook it up to a monitor. I've got the Bluetooth keyboard. I've got a Bluetooth mouse. I've got a Bluetooth mouse. And I have the ability to basically have my tablet become my laptop. I can plug it into a TV. I've got the Bluetooth accessories, and it's like, bam, I've got a computer right there, and it's running full Windows. And that's great when I'm like at my parents' house for the holidays and I want to post something on the website. I'm not trying to fight with Android and, try to make it hack its way in. It just never quite works right. I can just, boom, it's right there. And I'm just carrying around basically this 8-inch tablet. So that is just really nice to be able to have that. Also, one of the key things, because again, I'm cheap. I've mentioned that I'm cheap. This one, the W3, because they came out with the W4, all the accessories for the W3 basically got clearanced out. So the adapter that turns your HDMI into a VGA port, so you can plug it into a computer monitor, it's like $8. The Bluetooth keyboard's like $20. Like, it's all cheap accessories. If you buy the new one, the W4, you're going to pay a lot more for some of these accessories. But having that full Windows experience, being able to... I've actually edited a couple reviews on this tablet using the Corel Video Studio on the tablet, and it encodes great. It takes almost as long to encode as it does on my desktop. And my desktop is not brand new. I didn't build it in the last 6 months. It is a couple years old, so I think it's only a dual-core processor instead of a quad-core processor, that kind of stuff. But it does a really great job. It's an 8-inch screen, so it's easy to carry around. And I just, when I need something a little more powerful, I can take that with me, and I know that I don't lose any of my abilities. When you have an Android tablet, there are no good video editing apps for Android. It's just, it doesn't happen. You can put something, they make like a Photoshop Express that I think you can get on Android now, but I can use the full, Paint Shop Pro is the program I've been using for over a decade for graphics. And oh my gosh, has it been almost 15 years now? I guess I've been using that. So, I mean, it's just, no, it's longer than 50. Has it been, oh my God, 96? I guess I started using Paint Shop Pro instead of Photoshop. So anyway, those are my 3 tablets. I've got a 7-inch Android with an HD screen. I've got the 10-inch Android that's pretty much just for around the house. Then I've got the 8-inch Windows 8.1, and that's for It's small enough, again, it can go in the pocket on my cargo pants and I can carry it around, but it's also powerful enough that if I'm going to go somewhere for the day, like the in-laws or whatever, I can do that. Now, it also, one other key thing here that's great about having the Iconia, the 8.1, is that there is a program called BlueStacks. And I can use BlueStacks to run some Android programs. Now, if you're trying to run something like a game like Simpsons Tapped Out, that's really not going to run on here. But if, for reading digital comics, for instance, there's a Digital Comic Reader, which is part of Comics Plus, so you can get the Comics Plus app, the Dark Horse Comics app, Marvel Unlimited's app, all of those that have Android apps, I can install under BlueStacks and use them to read on the Windows tablet. Windows 8.1 does have its own version of Comixology, so you don't have to worry about that. But if you do get digital comics from some of those other things, or you just have, like if I wanted to, I could put the Gmail app on there and then just, have a link to it. You can put the links to the Android apps like on your desktop, and if you want to, you can just tap on the app. It'll launch BlueStacks and go into the app. If there's an Android app that's like your RSS reader, or something along those lines, you can do that as well. But once Windows 8.1 came out, you started to see a lot more official apps for the Windows touchscreen, just because they fixed a lot of the multitasking, so you can have two windows side by side, and you can resize them bigger and smaller, so you can do a lot of that type of stuff. So once they fixed a lot of that type of stuff, Facebook has a full app, the Comixology app got better, there is a YouTube app, all of that kind of stuff popped up there, so you do have a lot of apps that you can run straight from the touchscreen Metro interface on Windows 8.1, but anything else, just about anything else, you can run off of that desktop, and it runs just fine. The only problem is some of the games on Steam, you really have to have the keyboard and mouse. They don't understand touch input, and probably never will. So anyway, other than that, I had an Arnova 10-inch tablet, but it was the widescreen format. It was the 16 by 9 instead of the that standard 4 by 3 or 5 by 6 or whatever they call that other version. It was just too widescreen. I didn't like it. It was slow. It was kind of clunky. You had to root it to get the apps on it. It wasn't an official Google approved one, so I stopped using that. My kids both have Nook Colors, and they are running the latest version of Android off an SD card. We just did the deal where instead of rooting and flashing the original tablets, it's all running off an SD card, which is really nice. You just put in the SD card and you reboot the Nooks, and there you go. You're running the newer version of Android. My wife on her Nook is actually running, let's see, I forget exactly how it boots. I think it also boots off the SD card, but it's also linked into her original Nook account, so she can run everything that she's downloaded off the regular Nook store through the Nook interface. Any of those books and stuff she can still read, but then she's also running a newer version of Android. So it's got a loader on there, brings up its own version of the home screen and that kind of stuff. So we've got Nooks all throughout the family, and everybody loves them. But the thing is, we all love our Nooks for not being Nooks. The Nook user experience itself, much like the Kindle one, it's too locked into their app store and into their ecosystem, and they've reworked the interface so much. I don't like them, and I can't recommend them. Even though they're great hardware, if you are not the type of person who's going to root it and flash your own ROM on it, then I really cannot recommend buying one of those. Now, if you want to spend more money and get a nicer 7-inch tablet, then go ahead and get a Nexus. The Nexus 7 is a great tablet. You lose the SD card input, but you are paying more money I think for most people, if they get the Zero 7 Pro, for the money you're spending, you're getting the best deal, I think, for your money as far as that one goes. But if you want to spend more and get a nicer system, then the Google Nexus 7 is unbeatable. One thing, though, you've probably noticed, is some of you have said, you're talking about tablets. You own 3 tablets. You've talked Android. You've talked Windows 8.1. Where's the iOS? Well, it's quite simple. I hate the user interface on the iPad. People always talk about, well, what about the iPad and the iPad mini? It's got the Retina display that's high def. You can get a just as good a display, if not better, on a lot of Android devices. Apple does not corner that market anymore. Battery life is not best on the iPad anymore. They have not cornered that market anymore. The one thing they still have is a lot more apps, but I've yet to really run across an app that I want that's only on iOS. I mean, every so often you hear about a game, and it's like, coming to iOS, and it's like, well, that sucks for you because you don't get me as a user. Most of the time, though, they are being ported to Android because Android is overtaking iOS. Android in smartphones and tablets is it's used more worldwide than iOS and iPhone, iPad, anything like that. Android has overtaken. So it's becoming less and less that anything is iPad only and iPad specific. And I really just don't like how you can't customize much of anything on the iOS user interface. I've always disliked the Mac user interface. My parents are Apple cultists. They worship the temple of Apple. They have MacBooks, they have iPads, they have iPhones, they have an Apple TV. They would have an Apple Teeny if they were told that that's what they had to drink. They love everything Apple, and I go and I use it. I grew up in a house. We had Apple computers, Apple IIe, we had a Mac, whatever. And I've just never cared for the interface. I've never liked how locked down the interface is, how little you can do to customize it. I love tweaking my systems and hacking my systems, and Apple just really isn't built for that. If someone were to give me a MacBook, one of the first things I would do is install Windows on it because it's running an Intel processor. I would just not. I just don't like the interface in the system. So, and the thing is, iPads, for what they offer at their price, is no longer, getting a. You're getting a premium item for the premium price, but there are Android equivalents that are cheaper that give you that same display, that have a ton of apps, have a ton of games, that can do all the same type of stuff for, half the price. So I am not a fan of Apple. I'm not a fan of the iOS. I'm not a fan of those devices. I've tried them. I don't like them. Anytime I want to get my hands on one and see how something, works, I just go over to my parents' house. But, I mean, they still have, problems, whatever. My dad had a MacBook Pro something, and when they updated the latest version of the operating system, his touchpad went screwy. And so when he touches the right-hand side of the touchpad, it jumps over to the left-hand side. And this is a software problem, not a hardware problem. This is because the operating system updated. And you can't roll it back. You'd have to wipe it and reinstall, and he's not going to do that. And so he ended up buying a MacBook Air just to have a replacement MacBook until they come up with a fix for his MacBook. Which, my dad, he's got money. He's retired, but he made some smart investments in his life, and, he can buy a laptop to replace his laptop till they fix his laptop, but, he pays the price for that, and it still has issues. My mom's iMac, I think it's still called an iMac, her big all-in-one computer, got a virus last year, and it started eating up her hard drive. And they had to replace the hard drive and wipe the whole thing and start over. So Macs are not infallible. They have the hardware and software problems. It's not as prevalent, but my parents buy everything Apple, so they run into it probably maybe more than the average person because they have so many Apple products. But I've seen it, hit just about everything. And so, you're not really getting any sort of extra by buying Apple products unless, of course, you want that integration between your iPhone, your laptop, and your iPad. But, with Android, most of the time, that's closing that gap. If you end up buying a Chromebook, then you're pretty much set there. But Chromebooks are an issue for another day. I'm not sold on those particularly either. But for now, anyway, oh boy, we're almost out of time. But I mentioned this at the beginning. I gotta tell at least part of the story. That's enough for tablets. We're moving on. This is the last thing we're going to cover today. A PR guy sent me PR this week from one of the, I'll say, top 5 comic book companies in the United States, and just kind of leave it at that. And I did not run it on our website. I didn't post it. I mean, I was sick for a couple days, and we've had kind of a busy week. I've started posting some of the news articles again and press releases, so I'm kind of catching up on some of that stuff. But he sent me one, and all it was one of those press releases that they send out where it was just an image. It was a picture. It had text on the image, but I mean that's all it was an image. There was no text to go with it. There was no, cover of the comic. It was like a teaser for an upcoming thing. And I looked at it and I was like, no, trashed it. Threw it away out of the inbox. And that's what I do with those when they come in. Very rarely will I do anything with them because, well, anyway, he sends me an email and he goes, I've noticed we've sent you some of these, press releases and you don't run them. I've noticed that they haven't been on the site. And this one we sent today is kind of a big deal. I was hoping, you could put it up there. And I just said, all you sent me was an image. You didn't send me any text. You didn't send me a cover. You didn't tell me what book specifically this is for. This is a teaser. It's useless. That's why I don't run it. And he goes, well, this is the future of PR. This is how things are going to be done. It's in that image, so you can post it on your Tumblr. You can put it on your Facebook. You can tweet it out, and it's got the information on it, so you don't need all of that extra stuff. You don't have to type up all of that extra stuff. It's all right there in that image. And I'm just looking at this response, and basically here's what he's telling me. One, it's made for social media, not for a legitimate website. So therefore, it doesn't help me as a legitimate website. It helps them to get it on Facebook and Twitter and Pinterest and, wherever. And two, he's talking about how you don't have to type up all this stuff to go with it, which means he's lazy and he doesn't want to type this stuff up. And I'm lazy. I'm not going to type this stuff up. So I just throw it away. And I basically tell him, that may work for social media, but, our website is not Facebook. We're not a Tumblr. We're not a Twitter feed. We do a little bit more than that. So if you send me a press release that has a cover and a couple interior pages, and you tell me what the title of the book is, and you tell me what's the key thing I need to know about the book, then that is something that I can publish on the website. But when you send me this random-ass photo, this random-ass image, that doesn't mean anything. It just says, hey, there's something coming, and this is the writer, this is the artist. That's useless. That is absolutely useless, because it's not news. The news is telling me about your book. This is advertisement. This is nothing. You're trying to just get a free advertisement for your company. And I understand that that's what press releases are for, is for marketing and getting the word out, but there's no word. You're just sending an image. And I can't justify posting a single image on our website and call it news, because it's just not. So anyway, I don't think I've completely burned my bridge with this company. I think we will still get press releases in the future, but I think a lot of the teaser stuff from this company, a lot of those single image promo stuff, you'll find them if you go to, Bleeding Cool will post anything that anybody sends them pretty much. Comic book resources, Newsarama, they'll post that kind of stuff. And it's just kind of like, ooh, what do you think this could be? And then they post the image. And we could do that, but that just to me feels like a waste of time. Like, it takes more effort to post that on the site and try to draw attention to it than the interest that will come from people looking at it. Give me a couple pages from the inside, even if they don't have word balloons. I can put that up as a teaser, but these single image things are just completely worthless. So if you're a PR guy and you work for a comic book company, stop doing this. If it's for a Tumblr or a Facebook page, then post it on your official company Tumblr or Facebook page. Don't send it out as a press release, because it is not. Give me, if you don't want to tell me the title of the book, because it's a teaser, it's a surprise thing, then you have to say that it's a secret new series. It's a mysterious new series. Don't just send me these images, because it ain't happening. So anyway, probably hated in certain circles right now. But hey, I'm used to that. Everybody hates me because, I wanted to see Masters of the Universe die, apparently. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for today. Thanks for listening. Again, if you want to send me comments, questions, whatever, you can post them in the forums at jointheforums.com. You can send me a email, dirt@popculturenetwork.com. You can find me on Twitter at PCN_dirt, Facebook.com/VG Losers, for the video game losers. For some reason, my Facebook is still set up at that name. Why not? You can call our 24-hour voicemail line. It's area code 217-953-4025. No one will ever pick up the phone and talk to you. So it's not an answering machine, so don't stand there and go, hello, hello. But you can call anytime, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can call and leave a voicemail, and we will get it as an MP3. That's what that is set up for. So feel free to use any of those resources. Send me questions, comments. We are going to talk about the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. That's going to be our Christmas episode, because Freddy Krueger's sweater is red and green are Christmas colors, so it only makes sense to talk about those for Christmas. That'll be the episode of Pop Culture Network Radio right before Christmas, the 20th, 21st. So if you want to talk about the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, you can feel free to come and do that. But it is 10 after 8. Killin' Enterprises, the official store of the Pop Culture Network, that you can find online at shoppcn.com, opens at 10:30, so I'm running a little late. I got to go open the store. But anyway, guys, thanks for listening, and I'll see you guys next time.